Nothing to hide.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, nothing to hide. Just nothing. Blake Seven, the Liberator.
It depends what sort of impression you want to create.
I thought the camera was on.
Yeah. So what is it about acidity or food in general that you want to talk about?
I haven't yet approached anyone to ask them if they eat or consume blood-orientated products.
When they ask for weird, realise that for you that means just normal. You make it as normal as you can, and then that will be weird.
Really?
Yeah. All right, you're on.
Food is a concern of mine. I try to raise my energy levels by being aware of what I eat, and it's like a whole adventure. I think the word constitution, which is a generalization of the whole body, basically, hormones, glands, the whole network, the construction of the energetic level. We don't seem to be aware of our stomach. We can't look inside it. We don't see the mechanics of it, and we think it's just like a fridge and an oven in one. This area, is there a school this week that are explaining about how vital these organs are? Because all we think about is our eyes and our mouth all the time. Yap, 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 but try not eating fats and sugars for 6 days. It's difficult. The reason why I'm so slightly extreme with this non-blood group way of living is I've only been 3 years vegetarian, and I had a whole, not a stage, a whole upbringing of kind of salads that I wasn't in control of. Yeah, I'm concerned. I like to share my experiences with others where no one shared them with myself. So I'm quite invasive. My observations are invasive as in I have the energy to project into their consciousness slightly, and I assess them, maybe delusion, I assess if they're acidic or alkaline. Interesting point, water does not hydrate if boiled. That's a bit like the bees with don't know the word, but that's coming out soon with the pollination, not with the pollination, but with the big cosmetics giants. It's very obvious to stop it, but for some little glitch, they're still carrying on killing the bees, these corporations with these pesticides, which is quite a concern. And these little sparks of information, if you go to a supermarket, they're all based on budgets, and they spend years testing and trying to find out who buys what. There's been schemes, psychiatrists, psychologists finding out what name of the person the shopper is when they look at their basket. Surveillance, yeah.
Does it bother you? Being monitored and tracked like that?
No, because I believe we're all together on this. I don't think there's a huge conspiracy, because the person in charge of the surveillance probably has children, and the children are going to be saying, hey boss, hey dad, you've got a lot of cameras out there, you're not filming me. So it'll become a burnt out system. Yeah, the energetic system, the whole body approach. Dead people have appetites.
Mm.
They're floating around ghosts. What worries me is the Ouija board. It's the unknown, and you're opening yourself up to whatever's out there, you know. Same as blood. We don't know what's been fed. Don't know what the cattle's been having. Yeah. So the Ouija board, we don't know what. I mean, Charles Dickens' sewer, anemic peasant that he's slaughtered with treason delusion. That's the kind of entity he may attract on that board with numbers.
Do you ever do channeling?
I've learned that I have to prepare myself energetically. So it's based on nutrition. If I get that right, I'm usually reasonably happy, above board, jovial. I just have difficulties waking up in the morning. If I can crack that, I do sometimes. I can crack the code of waking up. I just feel caved in a bit when I wake up. I collect thoughts, I doodle, and those doodles I put on a large canvas. Recently I spent a long time preparing some laburnum logs. I had a laburnum tree that got pruned, 50 years old, and it's hardwood and it's poisonous, and I made a henge and didn't use pegs, wasn't fancy, and I had a huge hammer, and you have to hammer it high into the ground, and the ground's rocky, so it took weeks to get this henge. Then I'll go for a walk in Devon, and I'll think of a doodle of sketch a coastal walk with a pharaoh, and then I'll put my henge on top, and then I'll smudge it, and that'll be my doodle for my large painting. Then the painting looks like Gaza, so a coastal walk with pharaoh turns into Egyptian president walking through Gaza. Coastal walk, so it has a political resemblance. Yeah, dental floss I never find, I forget to use, or just, inner steps, inner soles. Do they include it with new shoes, don't they? Do you wear merino wool and tops, and how many do you buy? Because if you buy one, aren't you going to sweat more? Do you get a smaller size? Do you get a woman's size so you keep warmer? These little things, you know, yes, I've learned. I've wisened up a little bit. Expanding your intestines helps the congestion go through if you have stomachache, rather than a tablet that stops the pain. So I'm not sure about constipation, but for an intestine cleanse it's recommended to have psyllium husks in the morning. It takes 2 hours for effect, really, approximately. And I've sneezed for 2 years, no one told me this one. Sneeze 13 times a day, which is knocks you out. I can believe me. You sniff water under a tap if you can, and it either comes down the throat. But just knowing that, I heard, I mean, it went extreme. I mean, yogis use string, but you can just sniff water. It clears the navel, and you won't sneeze. You might do a few more sneezes, but you won't do like 10 sneezes knocks you out in a day. You're like wiped out, and you can sneeze 4 times. If you're going to sneeze 4 times, there's a probability you're going to go to 10. Sometimes you can go to 13 sneezes. So if you're going to 4 sneezes, you want to quickly go to the sink. If you can. Your hands are yellow from all the, I don't know how to say toxins, but it's just, sometimes we don't know what it is. But if you flick your hands when they're yellow, they can go normal again. When you're usually digesting food, your hands are all the toxins are coming out. If you had a lot of coffee or something like that. It's like sick ki is a saying, you know, it's a Teo saying, it's ki, invisible toxin. Someone said to me once that men menstruate through their eyes. A visual discharge. There's no game between men and women. We both attack the evil in our own ways. So the women that go through pain with the menstrual, believe me, men get it in a very different way.